Hello everyone, this is Karen from Quantum Healing with Tina. I just went out for a walk today. I just had a really beautiful tandem session with Tina and a 13-year-old client today. So just getting out there, kind of releasing the energy that I picked up today and just enjoying the sun. It's very scarce these days with having like good weather, so it's like anytime that I can do that, I'm going to take advantage of it. And I think everyone should too, because we just don't know how they're going to control this weather. But I'm here today because I'm just kind of like reflecting on my current situation. I've been working a lot on manifesting, monetary blocks, abundance in general, receiving, trying to uncover like the unconscious blocks that are hidden below. We had a ceremony just this Sunday with our beloved sister and friend, Liv Mackay Wheeler, and the Earth Amulet crew. And it was really nice to be around people who have like-minded goals, and just willing to do the work. I think that's a really important thing for a lot of people, because we don't realize about our unconscious blocks or things that may be in the way, or programs that are running through us in terms of receiving. What I learned in my manifestations, because I do a technique called CTT, which is consciousness tapping technique, which was created by our dear friend George Duisman. It's just a matter of doing tapping, bilateral tapping, and also creating manifestations. And then after the manifestations, it's like tapping into your body and feeling, sensing, and knowing what is in the way of that manifestation, or for you to receive that manifestation. So usually the things that I feel through that are doubt, unworthiness. There's like old programs of lack and scarcity, generational and ancestral things about receiving. You have to work hard to receive. And in the spiritual work that I've done on myself and my healing, I know that's bullshit. Like, you don't have to work hard for your money. There has to be some sort of receiving entailed. Like, in your receiving, there has to be some sort of work entailed. Sometimes we do receive things out of thin air. Like, I received, free coffees, little cute things like that. But, in terms of like, let's say debt, I'm very well versed in debt. I am well versed in being, like practically everyone in the world, enslaved by debt, or by the monetary system, or having the monetary system as an enemy. And that's probably something I have to tap on, seeing it as an enemy, or that I'm not worthy to receive that. I've been working through those blocks about receiving, and, through the tapping and seeing like those things come up into my life. I know there's a lot of work that needs to be done. It's not like I'm not asking for like financial freedom, but I'm asking to be out of the prison of enslavement from that. Like, putting so much emphasis in the security of it. I feel that's a really big part of the castle that I built around myself. And I know so well about paying things on time, making sure that we have enough money to get our needs met, and at the same time paying things off. There's a couple of things that I learned from my upbringing, from my parents, that they have passed on to me energetically and, through their own advice when they would give it to me. But what I've learned from those methods is that they've passed along something that I've repeated, a pattern in them, and something that they've probably have received from their own parents too, etc., and so on and so forth. But this is something that I don't want to pass on to my children. Having that fear of scarcity, that we will not have enough, that, just that what if I won't have enough and I might need it, or it's like there's something about that takes away from the flow of receiving. And I think that is something that a lot of us have to work through. A lot of us just don't feel worthy enough, or what if we have to finally take responsibility about how big we are as a soul, and we have to do something about it. We have to create with that. Now we have to kind of flourish and break through the many programs and conditionings and cycles and everything that we have been constructed around. Like whatever it is that we were born into is something that we have to deconstruct and recreate a new flow and a new way. I do a lot of visualization in terms of like what the flow looks like. I see, and I feel through the energies coming into my field. And then if there's like a boulder in the way, then I have to address the boulder. So it's becoming one with the boulder and asking it what it is or what it needs, or what is it exactly? Is it new? Is it old? Is it something I've created? Is it something that was passed down to me? Is it learned? So I feel just like everything else, blocks or even the flow itself, it's like we have to kind of trust in what it is showing us, because everything is showing us or a mirror to something within us. And whatever those blocks are things like kind of staircases for us to kind of get over and kind of like jump over, so that we could get into the stream of our birthright of receiving and of being able to live our life to the maximum capacity. I've been working a lot on myself in the last couple of years, like really hard. And this is one of the last pieces of my puzzle. So I'm really like scared and excited about the path that I'm taking. It does require work. It requires you to do sometimes the hard things, because like I said, not everything is going to fall into your lap. But when there are opportunities that arise that feel good for your soul, that feel in alignment with where you need to be, or to lessen the sentence of your prison, to give you quality of life in the now, you need to be able to honor that and to show up for yourself, to take a breath and to bring yourself here. Because trust me, a lot of information came to me yesterday, and a lot of things that made me kind of panic. I'll be honest, I panicked. I'm grateful that Tina was there to be like, one thing at a time. I went out in nature and I played with my kids, so I listened to that dolphin that I had been, that had been trying to get my attention to go with that flow. So it took me back into the now, back into perspective, back into the flow, and how it makes me feel. And for the most part, it feels pretty damn good. I'm here for an experience. Nothing is by mistake. Nothing is ever done not on purpose. It is always there to show us something so much more magical about who we are and how much we can create. And I think that's really exciting, because after this point, I am in full responsibility of my life completely. And I'm really excited. There's an excitement and a fear in there, which I acknowledge and honor. But it's because I'm really shaking the bridge now, and I'm creating a new bridge. So that's it. I just wanted to share that with you. I'm just really in awe, just with life itself. I haven't really had that opportunity to really sit in that in a while, since the winter time, started. Like, we're not really able to be outside in nature, so it's really good to be in the flow of that life, of life itself. And lastly, when I was playing with my kids yesterday, I was on the swing with my daughter, and we were kind of like, she was forward and I was backwards, and we were kind of going, one at a time. And then we ended up being on the same upswing and downswing in flow. And I took that, I heard the guides were telling me that you were off track, and these were potentials that you were going to pass on to your children. But now that you are in the flow, you are in the upswing and downswing together, you are going to give them a much greater legacy, a much greater lesson to just be able to receive life without any blocks in the way. And I thought that was magical and amazing, because my kids don't know anything about my life really in that regard, about the imprisonment, and I don't want them to have to ever hold that. So I think now is a critical time while they're still children where they don't have to know about things like that. But for them to value their life in however way that shows up for them, I think that's really great. So just patting myself on the shoulder there. So that's it. Anyway, I just want to send you all my love and deep thoughts. I hope maybe it'll benefit someone out here. So anyway, take care of yourself. I love you all, and I'll see you again.